So let's first talk about what is the exploratory data analysis, and then we will see what is a scatter plot. So exploratory data analysis is something which we use in order to understand how the data is distributed, okay? What distribution a particular attribute is following, or how what relation exists between the two attributes. For that purpose we use the exploratory data analysis, okay? Now you will understand it better through the example. So see, here I have take the iris data set from the Seaborn. Don't worry, in terms of practical coding and all, I will make separate videos, but you can understand pretty much overall what's going on just by looking at the code. I will explain code also, so that it won't be a problem for you, right? So NumPy is something which we use it to perform array related stuff, okay? Array related operation or vector related operation, right? Pandas is basically for the data frame. In order to read the data we need data frame, right? We saw the iris data set, so it might be the case that we use some data frame to store that, and pandas provide us that facility. Seaborn is something which is more specifically used for the data visualization purposes, right? See here I have used Seaborn for the plotting of this graph, right? So this is where the Seaborn is, and the matplotlib is also used for the same purposes. They have their own differences, and we will talk about it whenever we came across any, okay? So iris dataset is the inbuilt dataset that you can get easily, because it's like hello world for the machine learning datasets, right? So we can just use the command as cbond.load dataset iris, and then okay, we have set the style to the white grid. See, this is white grid what we are seeing over here. After that we are using facet grid function for the plotting. We are using the dataset iris, the species. What we want to do is that we want to color the points on the basis of the class they belong to, right? So see here there are three classes: setosa, versicolor, virginica, and for each of them we are having the different colors, right? So in order to do that we use the u, means color, which is equals to the species, based on the species. Height is equals to 6 for the figure, and after that we are using the scatter plot, okay? And we are using the sepal length and petal length of the iris dataset, okay? So these are the name of the attributes. If you remember from our last video, these are the two attributes out of four, right? And after that we are just saying add legend, so that we would come to know which color stands for which class. So here I will tell you, before going into the diagram, how does it works, okay? Suppose this is my first instance of data set. I am having sepal length say 4.5, okay? Sepal length, sepal width something 3, petal length as 7, and petal width say zero point 0.2, right? And the class or the label which I am having corresponding to here is say versicolor, right? So what does the scatter plot do is that, as we are interested in sepal length and petal length, it will consider sepal length as an x coordinate for, and the petal length as an y coordinate, and for the value 4.5 on x axis and the value 7 on the y axis, it will point a dot, as we can see here, right? So these are all the dots which have been pointed corresponding to the each of the data point. Now this might be of any label, but in this case our data point is of the class versicolor, and we see that for versicolor we are using the orange color, so it will plot this point and will color it orange, right? Now this is very important thing to do, because see, if you want to predict the class of a flower, what you can do is that you can just see what is the sepal length and petal length, okay? If petal length is less than 3, you can be sure for 100% that it is a setosa, because see, each blue point of setosa class has the petal length less than 2, right, or the 2.5. Now, keeping this in mind, let's see what's going on over here. Here we can see that there is no clear line which you can draw to separate the points. See, if I draw this line, there are few orange points on the other side and there are few green points on the other side, right? So this is the problem, right? Here we were able to do it very easily. So the cases where you can just draw a simple line for the separation are called as linear separable data. If you can separate the data just on by using a single line, it is called linearly separable. But if the case here we saw here, no straight line can divide the data between the two distinct classes, right? So it's not linearly separable. So this is one terminology that you should keep in mind. So this is what called as linearly separable or non-linearly separable, and this is the scatter plot. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. Take care of your time and take care of yourself.